Tweet happy things.
Game number 5, Entropy and YoungSung.
Yes, back to the points.
I don't mean to ignore you.
That's fine.
I just need to keep going, or else I'm getting yelled at. I'm being told to do things. We're going to get moving into the next match, though. Entropy and YoungSung. G8 Rare Peep Ninjas.
Yep.
Will they be the first team ever in the Battlerite Pro League for the first season to go undefeated?
I say yes. I say it's very likely here, and
He says yes.
Entropy, they can't have that happen. They need to stop this, or else they will be playing a tiebreaker for last against Excel Wizards, which is not what you want to have happen. You don't want to fight for that last place spot. Is whoever is last, like we mentioned earlier, gets relegated, and you're out of the league next season, which not the outcome that any team wants. So Entropy, they need to play incredibly well, but then again, they're against the new titans of Battlerite in North America, YoungSung, and the coordination these guys have, the team play, and just the raw skill that they bring to the table make it such a hard team to beat.
And one of the coolest stats that we saw in week number 1 when they had their big upset against Space Station Gaming that no one expected, they had overall less damage output with a victory.
Yep.
Which I think is the coolest thing. It shows that it's all about burst damage.
It's about
for them.
coordination.
It's all about timing.
Yeah.
Which we spoke about when we saw them earlier today, how that also plays a huge factor into their shields, because shields are essentially just well-timed healing or a wasted ability if you don't have it well-timed.
Right.
Shielding someone behind a wall is not going to get you a whole lot. The fact that they can do it both on defense and offense is what makes them so strong. Even when they have someone like an Older as their support, doesn't matter for them.
Yeah.
Because they can still just negate so much damage with perfectly timed shields from Alicia, perfectly timed barbed husks from Thorn.
It's not easy. It's not easy at all to do that kind of thing. It's so hard not to stack cooldown abilities because it requires a lot of awareness. You need to understand not only what abilities are on cooldown of your allies, but how your allies generally play. You have to predict how Ninjas is going to use his Q, his shield. You have to predict how Rare Peep is going to use his barbed husk, which is like not only... It just requires so much awareness, and being aware of what your teammates are thinking is something that's so cool about this team, and it really just says everything that needs to be said about them. They are a team that understand each other and how they need to play.
Remember, there are 7 abilities effectively, and then 2 EX, but those stack with the 7 abilities that you need to track at all times for your opponents and yourselves. Now, how to make that a little bit easier for yourself is you just worry about the big ones, right? If you're going against a Shifu, you don't care about his M2 cooldowns. You don't really care about his M1 cooldown, obviously, because it really isn't much. A little bit on the Javelin, but really mostly his immaterial and his counter, because that's what he does to deal with you.
Yeah.
That's how he's just going to deal with all the crap you throw his way. So that's how you try and push it, but then also having to do it with your allies, knowing he doesn't have Barbed Husk, I should be the next shield.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, knowing that Alicia doesn't have her shield up, I should Barbed Husk.
Yeah, not often do you think about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear cooldown tracking, you always think enemies, but at the top level of Battlerite, you got to know your allies as well.
So we're going to move into our draft. What are you expecting to see? Something similar for both teams?
We saw the Destiny earlier from Entropy, but I don't think it'll have any success into the comp of YoungSung. I expect them to play Alicia instead, as Alicia, Destiny, Jade is the hero's hero pool. So it seems likely that he won't pick Jade because she's kind of struggling in this meta right now. So I think the Alicia will come out from Entropy. And YoungSung, of course, playing their Older. I'm interested to see what they're going to bring to the table. I'm going to have a hard time predicting simply because they're in a spot right now where they can mess around with things.
Yeah.
They can play different comps because they've guaranteed first seed. So I expect to see them experimenting a little bit. Maybe some Croak, maybe some more Alicia. Some Thorn. Okay.
Some Thorn.
And the hero's actually breaking out the Jade. I feel very concerned about his Jade moving into this game. As a Jade specialist, not a one-trick, I'm a specialist.
Hey.
She has a really hard time into both Older and Thorn. As Thorn, he will almost always hit the entangling roots once your blast vault is down. You can't really get away from that big hitbox.
Yeah.
And also, the Older, he can just drop bubbles for those snipes. And the hero plays a very snipe-centric Jade.
I mean, even just think about it. You've got Barbed Husk and Chronoflux.
Yeah.
Both of those things can negate your snipe on any of their targets.
Yeah, also just Barbed Husk. If you throw it on an ally that's being M1'd by Jade, Jade will hit like 3 M1s into it accidentally, and then the damage that's spread out by the Thorns that Barbed Husk applies is just such an unfavorable matchup.
Taya and Paloma for the final pick. So Entropy picking Paloma. I do like that. I do think it'll really help with any kind of even tiny mistakes, especially glaring ones, but being able to other side people away from things like Older ultimates, just Taya getting an X strike and ultimate from Thorn, helping get out of there.
Right.
Especially because we know that Thorn only has the one space and Jade only has the one space, so not a lot of iframes for them. Paloma should really help that out, but it's going to be tough for her to actually find a lot of value, I think.
Yeah, you know, she is pretty good into this comp. Swap and other side are very valuable iframes, but I think we might run into a problem with the Taya, as Taya is just going to be hitting a lot of these X strikes. Now this Taya, kind of similar to what I was talking about with YoungSung earlier, I'm not sure who's playing it. Rare Peep, back in the day, a lot of people don't know, back in the days of Enter the Arena, over a year ago at this point, he was incredibly good at Taya. His Taya was second only to a verse in North America, so he definitely has it in his back pocket, but he generally plays melee. Not that I doubt Ninja's ability to play the Thorn, but I think if we saw Rare Peep on the Taya, it'd be really cool.
It's going to be a little bit of a mystery box to see who's on each champion. Well, we do know for Entropy essentially who was on which one.
Yes.
The hero picking out Jade, you said, is going to be a struggle, so definitely be watching for when he finds values with that snipe, because even landing one snipe is going to be a really big feat for them. But it's going to be Rare Peep on the Thorn and Ninja's on the Taya.
He's not. Yeah, I'm an old boy. They're not giving me the throwback I wanted.
No.
I wanted to see Rare Peep on that Taya, but you know, seeing Ninjas play some experimental characters is nothing I can complain about either. This dude's incredibly good, so I have no doubt he can play the Taya. Yeah, I'm very, very nervous about the hero. My eyes are going to be on him, as I think he's going to have a very hard time hitting snipes on the side of YoungSung.
I mean, you've got haste to worry about.
Yeah.
Ninjas, if he builds it, he can haste all of his allies as well. You've got Rare Peep, who can Barb Husk. You've got Jeter, who can use Chronoflux, who can use Ultimate, who can just use his shield in front of his face. It's going to be really, really tough for the hero. He's going to have to find a lot more value in just helping out his teammates, getting the M1s and forcing out cooldowns. I mean, at the very least, if he can just feign snipe a whole bunch and really just try and pull those cooldowns out, then maybe you'll be looking at Inflamed and Trees Have Leaves pushing in to deal that damage.
Yeah.
But even so, those abilities to deal with snipe, they wouldn't have used to deal with Thorn anyways.
Yeah, and it's like if you're baiting out abilities with a 1.6 second cast time, which is snipe, like that just takes so much time.
Yeah.
You have to commit so much time to doing stuff like that where you're not doing damage. But we'll see how he does. Maybe there's just something I don't know. Maybe he's gonna bring something hot to the table and take him down.
All right. Almost gets the first snipe out, but the haste again proving to be strong against her. Older having to space out, but he will find a little bit of shield on a Taya. No value in that Thorn Ultimate Barb Husk, or Thorn Spacebar, I should say, from Trees Have Leaves. You're going to lose that first orb as well. Right now it's just basic trades all going in favor of YoungSung, nearly 100% health for them.
Yeah, Taya has a ton of energy, and she's just throwing X strikes continually at Inflamed, recognizing that the Paloma doesn't have ways to get out of it, and she's now letting her ultimate rip. The damage onto trees and the backline of Entropy is massive.
Oh, the hero's going to find so much damage in his face. The ultimate from Inflamed, Trees Have Leaves is going to retreat to it. They do secure that orb, but they had to use so much to secure it. The hero just barely getting kept alive here from his support. Inflamed doing a good job to snipe again, tornadoed out, and Barb Husk though. There's the first stack of cooldowns we've seen from YoungSung in quite some time. The hero has the space for that, but him and Thorn both have the same idea. The EX space from Thorn's gonna bring Older there, who's also got an ultimate. Entropy took that, the hero sniping into that orb.
Rare Peep wanted in. He wanted to chase with that EX space. A very aggressive play. That EXM1 from Ninja's dealing a lot of damage to Inflamed here, and the hero not doing much better as he's just being CC'd for eternity, Carpet.
He actually might die here to the time bomb. No, he has just enough health to survive. But how much health? He's going to ult across the wall, go for the orb. He secures it, but he's almost dead still.
Wow, nice double stun from the Older to finish up this round. Jeter really masterful on this character, recognizing when he can use his abilities. And this is a very hard game for Entropy. Not even just Entropy as a whole, but even on the micro scale, Inflamed having a very hard time against Ninjas. And this is one of the problems with the Taya Paloma. I spent so much time talking about Jade that I glanced over the Paloma, but the X strikes from Ninjas were relentless. He was hitting X strike after X strike early on, and Inflamed didn't have the cooldowns to escape from them. You can't just other side yourself when a Taya throws a throwaway ability at you, as other side is far too important. So Inflamed has to either position perfectly or just eat the X strikes.
Jade playing a bit aggressive, going for the M1 damage, knowing that M2s are going to be so difficult to land. But the space bar's out, and he gets pushed right back into Thorn. But luckily, one Thorn pulled another Thorn.
Nice snipe, landing onto Ninjas in the backline, and entangling roots, eating the haste. Good play from Entropy here, and they get the orb.
That's going to be huge, but an entire M2 from Thorn goes straight into Paloma. Inflamed has to space himself out. The hero's got an ultimate. He's going to go for the... Oh my god, the entangle on the Invis Jade's going to be huge for them. The Barb Husk as well coming out for Rare Peep. Here's the ultimate from Taya. She's going to put so much damage, and there's the pull. They don't secure an orb out of it, though. Looks like Entropy does the entangle, the stun, what is happening right now?
Oh my god, and the wind bomb, everything being thrown onto the side of Entropy from YoungSung, but they don't actually get as much from it as I expected them to. However, the other side from Inflamed is burned, and that's going to open up YoungSung to aggress onto Entropy, and we see it. Jade, she has the EXQ just barely and manages to make it out, but she gets pulled back in. She's still alive, Carpet, but finally, Inflamed can't heal through all that damage Rare Peep is putting out.
3 orbs to 0, and Entropy still struggle to get the locked damage onto YoungSung. Look at how healthy Thorn looks. Look at how healthy Jeter looks. The closest they got was Ninjas on Taya. And I think it's just because they're playing so aggressive at the end to try and get that kill.
Really, really great play. YoungSung, they don't get the orbs, but they get that damage in huge bursts in one go, so they manage to burst through the 2 HP significantly enough to where the orb count doesn't matter. And even though Ninjas ate a couple snipes early on and fed the hero the energy Jade needs as a character, it wasn't enough as he had such a hard time putting out damage. Trees Have Leaves having just as hard a time as he's being controlled very well by Jeter and Rare Peep.
This is the final showing of both of these teams in group stage, and YoungSung are looking to go undefeated 2 rounds in a row. Entropy really struggling, just as we predicted in the pick phase.
Did you see Ninjas hit that X-Strike on the stealth Jade?
Yep.
Incredible play. This orb spawning in 4 seconds, it's pretty important for both teams. YoungSung, Rare Peep is trying to make room for his allies. Ooh, a nice bubble negates the Jade's presence too. And YoungSung, they get the first orb.
And that they already won by losing all 3 orbs last round. They get 1. I mean, look at the energy right now for Taya. She has 125%. She can ult and still has Tornado for safety. Ninjas can play so aggressive right now. The X-Strike, he forced the jump out of Jade. Are we going to see an ultimate? One from Thorn, maybe another from Taya coming up. There's the other side. The Taya ult, but they lose the orb to Entropy. The entangle stops Taya from finding any value in the ultimate. Will she go aggressive? She does.
That hits Jade! That narrowly hits Jade on the edge, and he gets pulled in immediately after. The damage onto Entropy is starting to add up. YoungSung are coming back into this slightly, but Rare Peep, he needs to play pretty safe here as his max HP is significantly lower than his enemies.
Another X-Strike onto Inflame. They're both trying to get the pull, and it looks like blue team. No, YoungSung steal that orb. And ult just sitting in Trees Have Leaves energy bar. He wants it so bad. Ninjas has one now again too. Jade is so low. He waited for the tornado. The ultimate from Jeter's gonna help keep him alive. There's the stun onto 1, the X-Strike as well.
They're getting too low, Carpet. The Dead Roots comes out from Rare Peep, but he's still so low. They manage to secure the orb.
Another
he has to Barb Husk. The snipe comes out too. Jeter spaces over him as shortly as he can just to try to apply that shield, but he's getting so low. He's still alive somehow.
Trees Have Leaves has entangled both of Taya's ultimates, which has been massive to negating at least probably 100 damage.
Oh, Ninjas! Ninjas manages to Zephyr and steal that orb. A huge play and a double pull, or a pull onto the Thorn of Blue. He's getting so low they might be able to chop down this tree, but he narrowly burrows out.
Rare Peep solo inflamed, using a safe ultimate to keep his team up there. Green Chart's getting picked up by Rare Peep. An ultimate for Jeter.
How are they in this, Carpet?
I honestly have no idea. And
they get another orb!
That's huge for them. 2 ultimates, almost 3 right now. Ninja's trying to get the 3rd one. There's the Burrow and the Barbed Husk. Trees Have Leaves might go down right now. He's got nothing.
Oh. Inflamed, he's healing him up, and Jade's separated. Oh, the nice entangling roots onto the healer, which opens up some good damage and an X-Strike immediately as Inflamed comes out of the iframe. He EX swaps, but the ultimate lands. They need to find the kill here, and they do. The hero and Trees versus Jeter and Rare Peep. This is pretty favorable for Red, but the big ultimate doing a lot of damage to Jeter. He gets burrowed on as well, and the kill is found. Entropy, they take a round. Oh, baby.
Fighting tooth and nail to the very end. YoungSung staying alive way longer than we expected. 5 orbs to 2, but the trades there on Entropy. They found such a good job. Somehow Thorn barely got out of there constantly. Rotating other sides, burrows, barbed husks. The hero just slowly dealing damage. But look at the damage from Trees Have Leaves. 1384.
He's hitting him with the branches.
He's smacking him.
He's smacking him. Man, so many high skill plays there to end that round off. This swap from Inflamed healed up his ally, and even though he got caught in the older ultimate because of it, Entropy still managed to find the kill onto Jeter. And Entropy, they're showing they're not out of it just yet.
Swap, probably one of my favorite abilities. Just so you can see some of the juiciest plays come out of that. Entropy trying to tie the series up. It's going to be a struggle. You saw how hard they had to fight. They can't make any mistakes.
Oh, sick entanglement roots.
That was amazing. but they don't secure the orb out of it, but they do a lot of damage to Taya. She doesn't go anywhere with that tornado. She has to haste her way out of there. Doesn't find a lot of value on her extra either, but Ninjas will find 2 green shards.
Whoa,
the panic into the pool. What is happening right now? This is sick. Entropy's playing incredibly well. No value out of the ultimate from Rare Peep. YoungSung seem to be falling apart right now. Entropy breaking things up.
The orb is secured by the Teo, which helps out YoungSung quite a bit. But, oh, the other side is burned. Oh, this is kind of scary here.
Yeah, but Trees Have Leaf still super healthy. The hero's super healthy. Paloma's the only one that's kind of low, but they're not going to want to chase her down between her panic and her other side. Barpass coming out on blue side.
Oh, what's up, Jeter? Nice reflect.
Just barely placed. If that was any more down, that would have snuck through.
And he hit a double petrify on the double pull from Rare Peep. Great play here from YoungSung to find themselves back in this round, but they're still down in terms of HP. This next orb is spawning in about 5 seconds, and it's so important the red team gets it. Rare Peep, he's going to throw out the dead roots, but he eats a snipe in the middle of it. Now the Jade ultimate comes out. She gets massive value from it. The Taya ultimate is the answer. She's not going to land too many M1s to start it off.
That is the 3rd time Taya Ultimate has been entangled by Trees Have Leaves. He has done such a good job of making her waste so much energy. Paloma taking so much damage, even in her own ultimate. Rare Peep trying to build up to his thorns.
Oh, good EXM2 secures the orb in another Taya ultimate here, Carpet.
She won't get entangled this time. So many escapes used. There's going to be another Roots. We have an ultimate from Jeter. No one's going to die on his team for at least a little bit longer than Entropy's ready to fight for, maybe. Tangling Roots for the ultimate. The hero, full volley of M1s into it. During the ticks of the Thorn ultimate, Jeter's got an ult. Pushes Thorn away. He's just trying to take out a Flame, and Flame has to use the other side on himself. Now they have to chase down. Thorn is there. The shield, the Barb Dust, the ultimate from Older, the swap to stay out of it, but he'll still go down. The Barb Dust keeps Thorn alive.
Oh man, this is still very scary as 2 players on the red team are so low. If this orb is secured by Entropy, it could bring back the round for him, but YoungSung takes it. Now the hero, he's trying to throw out some damage, but the entangling roots likely spells out his doom as they rotate down onto the Thorn bottom. Oh, the nice bubble reflects that last M1 that kills off the hero. And YoungSung, after a bit of a sloppy round in round 3, take round 4.
Entropy finding so much more value. The way Jade's playing, putting enough pressure in the backline, but letting Trees Have Leaves doing work. The entangles onto Taya ultimates. Big. Holy God, I mean, it's massive. It literally negates 100% energy. It is such a huge dump for Ninjas. And when he can't dodge the entangling roots, I honestly don't know how he hit it 3 times. It's probably one of the hardest things to do against a hasting mounted ulted Taya.
Have you played against Thorn? That hitbox is huge.
That is true. That is true.
But you know, his aim has been absolutely immaculate, and negating so much energy with a simple ability like Entangling Roots, very big deal.
Another Entangling Roots and a pull into Taya, but she did already build up the energy she needs for Tornado. She won't even use it. Ninja's using the haste to get out of there. Oh my God.
We're seeing it again.
Paloma inflamed, has to be so careful right now. The Barbed Husk comes out as she gets entangled, panicking Thorn away from it. She'll have some health left. Entropy will secure an orb, but the pull again.
Not worth it. They get the orb, but they've taken so much damage here, Carpet, and the aggression onto the Paloma. He hits the EX swap on the hasted Taya, but the older ultimate's there, and Paloma is just going to get eaten alive. The snipe comes out from the hero to try to apply some pressure to get him off inflamed, but it's not enough.
Rotating every safety cooldown they had. Barbed Husk, other side, everything they could possibly muster up, but it doesn't matter. She'll still go down. Jade's going to follow suit. The Trees Have Leaves. Accepting his fate.
Trees get chopped. He goes down. That round very reminiscent of the early rounds in this game. Ninjas, we saw him once again just post up on Inflamed and throw all of his abilities at him. He hit that big X strike, and from that point on, he just continued the aggression onto the Paloma. And man, Inflamed numbers really reflect how pressured he was. Only 66 damage and 187 protection. They really just tunneled the Paloma after she used her other side.
YoungSung, 1 round away from going undefeated in the group stage. And it's looking like they're going to take it. Ninjas, Rare Peep, and Jeter. Seeing who can get first mid control. The pull onto Older, but they just don't have time to punish. They can't all chase down.
A nice X-Strike too, and Ninjas, he's reached that critical mass, that critical bar of energy. He can now play more aggressively. He wants to secure this orb though, and he will.
I think Barbed Husk actually might have helped secure that as well. The full EX-M2 from Thorn right into Paloma. Look at how much health she doesn't have. She has to space out of there. She wants to save the other side as much as possible. She'd much rather use it for teammates than herself.
Yeah, Taya actually eats a pretty big chunk of damage there. She's going to drop her ultimate to try to find some damage, but just like in the rounds prior, that entangling roots is there.
Blue team secure that orb as well. That's huge. The hero has an ultimate. 1, 2, 3. None of them making contact. Nearly finding Thorn, but he was burrowed the whole time.
Wow.
The snipe on a ninjas.
Beautiful.
The X strike won't find any value as well. A little bit hectic for both sides. Very fast paced.
Oh yes, very messy rounds here. Entropy, they want to secure this orb, and with it the 6th round, not sure they're going to be able to, but they do.
They got the orb. Is that going to be the round for them? Almost an ultimate for Rare Peep. He's building up. He just got it. He stays alive. But for how much longer? The ultimate from Jeter is going to keep him alive. He goes safe instead of aggressive.
Oh, look at the hero. He runs up top. Will he find the kill? Oh, he was a little late on that junk shot. Doesn't manage to get it, but Rare Peep, he's still just getting ran down. The damage here, it comes out, and they might actually find the kill with Trees. Look at Trees. Trees has actually died too. They don't get the kill on Rare Peep, and Trees dies. YoungSung. My God.
So many cooldowns to try and take out Rare Peep. A cheater sniping the M2s. You don't talk about the accuracy of M2s very often. But the moment Rare Peep came up with 5 health from a burrow, there was a heal landing on him. He got rejuvenated. He was able to try and get out of there. Haste helped him out, and then followed by Barb Tusk, followed by more heals. And they take out Trees, but it's not game just yet.
Yeah, this is still possible for Entropy, but very unlikely. Man, look at Ninjas. He's out here in no man's land, back in his spawn. He does manage to reconnect to a Jeter here, and that helps him out quite a lot.
Paloma having to use ultimate for safety's sake, which is not what you wanted to do.
Oh, Jade?
That was pretty sick.
Oh, but he gets him! The hero! He gets him and gets him with that fading stare on his stealth. He needs to find the kill here on Taya. Is the junk shot available? It looks like it's not. Oh, and they find the kill on the hero. I was hoping maybe he had the junk shot to knock the Taya into the sudden death, but at the end of the day, that energy or that cooldown wasn't there, and the hero goes down to Ninjas. It looked like they might be able to bring it back off the back of that raw aggression onto the Thorn, but they couldn't get it.
He just wouldn't die. The undead. Somehow Rare Peep stays alive throughout that entire round, giving them the undefeated record they were fighting for. I was going to say all season, for 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks.
All season.
God, that's a long time. 3 weeks.
The whole time. There it is. They're now 6-0, 7-0.
Yeah, they're
8-0, 10, 12-0.
Yeah, and down below them, SSG, they can't be feeling too good about that. Losing 2 games to them and being the favorites going into this. But YoungSung, they're showing us that not everything is predetermined.
Yeah, I mean, you said it before. Might have been a risky statement. Definitely not anymore. Best team in North America right now? Definitely. Yeah. I mean, they've got a record to prove it. They've also beat the favorite team twice in a row. Definitely not a fluke. They're 2-0 against the next best team. As a matter of fact, they're 2-0 against everybody in their group. Yeah. And everyone even called this the death group. They said this group was more stacked.
Yeah, you know, things didn't quite work out the way we planned, as Excel Wizards seemed to be struggling more than expected. But it's still a very hard group with both YoungSung and SSG, and YoungSung coming out on top of it. Man, their play this game was so incredible.
I cannot believe Rare Peep stayed alive there at the very end. That was actually insane. Talk about rotating.
You see that last M1 in the bubble.
Perfect. And this is it. Look at this. Barb Tusk going to get one more heal. So the Entangled just barely saved him. He's going to burrow. Stay in for damage on top of that. There were 2 juicy green shards just off to the left. And he's like, no.
He's not hungry.
I'm not hungry. I'm hungry for murder, not for healing. And he stayed in still.